my life today. So I'm taking risks every single day doing what I do instead of going through, the prescribed path that everyone has to go through. But I think that comes with people who want more. And if you want more, you're going to be able to take a risk and do things for way less and hope in future it would result in something bigger. Growing up in Nigeria, I grew up in one of the poorest towns in Nigeria. It's my environment. So there was, there was a lot of violence in terms of there was kidnapping, there was, robbery and all that kind of stuff. But me and my mom, we had to take fruits, vegetables to the market to go and hawk and sell. And whatever we would sell that day, we would literally eat, like we would use that to buy and cook food for the day. I'll climb I'll climb the trees to get the fruits down, be able to help as much as possible. But at that time, it was a thing of joy. So whenever I look back to that, I'm like, man, it's been a long way. So every time I would imagine myself in the US, I would use that picture frame of them coming to the US, coming down from the plane. And that was kind of my mind frame. Each time I was washing a car, I would put myself in the US, walking in the streets, meeting people. And, I didn't know how that would come back because I didn't have anyone in the US. I had no family member in the US at that time. But I just kept playing that in my head. And fast forward 2016, things happened the way it did. And I came to the US. My mom visited the US then, and she was so scared and concerned about me. But I told her one thing, that every time we talk, she always reminds me of what I told her. I told her that I have come this far and there's no way I'm going back. Just don't worry about me. Things will work out. And that kind of made her, calm down and know that, okay, he's got it. So, and fast forward today, I'm still here. So that worked out. If I tell you that at the moment I thought I was going to be able to make it, I'll be lying. I had no idea how this was going to happen. I would have panic attacks. I remember a couple of times I would literally sit in a car just like trying to control my this was in 2018. I was trying to like control my breathing. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen next. And I started reading all kinds of books. I think books was the only way I could escape through those situations, because I would be able to read books of people who've already conquered those situations and see like, how did they do this? How were they able to manage their situations? Because while I was out in my 8 months journey, I read books like Think and Grow Rich, Power of the Subconscious Mind, Preach That, Pour That, trying to discover like kind of who I am and kind of my perspective. Now, when I came back, I'm like, all these books I've read, it's time to apply it into doing things. I started FiredUp as an organization to talk about purpose, God, and being able to kind of define who the person is and find their purpose. And Fired Up came about because I'm very energetic. So I was like, you got to be fired up about your purpose, fired up about your passion, and be able to do things you need to do. I mean, my purpose in life is always being able to connect people with people, being able to elevate people, and that's kind of what I do with like my podcast and my show. Any way that I can bring positivity to where I'm at the moment, that's what I do. Any way that I can engage to improve people's life and wherever I'm at, either in resources or however I can be able to promote people. And that's kind of what I do every day. I go out and be able to see who can I help today, who can I be able to, do one thing to help their business or whatever they're doing grow. I would say, yeah, what I've learned is being able to meet with people and show everyone the same respect and the same value that you show whoever you think is the top person, and kind of see that grow and see the person take off and be like, man, I knew that person before they started and now look at where they are. So yeah, I'm always humbled by those experiences, and I hope to be able to help more people use my platform as a stepping stone. And that's kind of the goal, being able to use my platform as where people come on and be like, oh, that's the next entrepreneur. We're going to go talk to them. I think people, especially from my country, or from, third world countries, we face so much hardship that when we come here, we know that we have everything to lose. I mean, and that's like, you have to grind to the last. So every risk you take, you are expecting something huge to come out of it. But I think for me personally, in terms of culturally, I was pretty much thrown into risks. By the day they dropped me at Truce, that was the first risk I took, and I was like, I'm already in it. There is either swim or die. Whenever you're in the valley, just realize that, hey, it's just for a time being. It's not personal. For what I say is, it's like life is not personal. It just happens to everyone, and it just depends on how you translate it. Life is fair because it's unfair to everyone. So that's kind of my mode I go with, where it's like things are hard, but it'll always be, although there'll always be something. Life is not perfect, so I always keep going. So yeah, it's more of a fear of failure. And a lot of people fear failure so much that they don't even start. And I think that's the thing that is hooking our generation, where it's like people have all these visions of things they want to do. But I'm like, if only you could see ahead of you, which you can't see ahead of you, you can only see today, you will take the risk and see what it will come out of. The worst that could happen is you fail. And people are so scared of fail that they never even try to do what they want to do. I would enjoy more failing now than in the future being like, man, I could have been doing that.